It's like sharpened knife through Chicken McNugget. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Right. Learn to buck up. Shut the fuck up. Now. Learn to buck up. That dance on numbers will eat your children and steal your thunder. While heavy torsos that heave and hurl will crunch like nuts in the mouths of squirrels. Now nimble fingers that dance on numbers will eat your children and steal your thunder. While heavy torsos that heave and hurl will crunch through nuts like the mouths of squirrels. Shut the fuck up. Now shut the fuck up. Now learn to fuck up. The fuck up. Yeah, learn to fuck up.
Is this Peter time?
Peter, what do you got to say?
Well, you know, people, everybody around these parts, you know, like we do the same thing every week. Same thing every week. I can't understand what it's about. You know what we do? We come in a shed. We do nothing. We don't prepare. We don't really have any sort of a game plan. We just like pull together this thing, and people say, I love what you do. You really create an environment where you just capture what it's like to be in a shed in Pine Grove on a Thursday night. And I said, you know what? We're great at it.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. But tonight what you're going to see is you're going to see a guy who's not only a super fan, but he's also a well-known, long-time guest of the program. He's come all this way. He's brought a friend with him. He's Tige Wright, everybody.
Hey, Tige!
Old friend of the show.
Had a little tickle of New Limburg, right?
Yeah, we're going to talk. He was just headlining New Limburg in a clean show. Boo. But there's only one way to talk to Tige, you know.
How's that, Peter?
That's to start the show. When we do it with a thing we call the theme song, Michael.
Here we go.
The theme song. Everybody live from the Dutch Hall. We are Canada's only late night talk show and the greatest podcast ever to come out of Poolshed, Pine Grove, Ontario. Yeah. Bar none, everyone. Bar none. And I believe we are that way because of one reason and one reason alone. The greatest band in Canadian late night history. Fresh off a hot gig.
They nailed it.
Where they said, Michael, we don't need you tonight. We're going to kick ass.
Yeah, they pushed me aside.
The Nocturnal Emissions, everybody. This week, it is the Nocturnal Emissions in their purest form. Band leader Michael Bow on rhythm and backup vocals tonight.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, nice round of applause.
Hello,
I liked it. All right. Beside him, the man that writes music for the show. You know, that's a cock on his hat, but he's a rooster in this room.
Hello.
That's Dave the Rooster Chutters, everybody. Too close. Beside him, fresh off his beating by the Mexicans. Reluctantly beaten by the Mexicans. I love the Mexicans.
Viva la Mexico!
Steeler Legend German is here, everyone.
Suck it, Germany.
And back where he belongs is the balls of the Nocturnal Emissions, swinging low. Whiskey Wes Hagens, everyone. Hey, Wes. And as per CRTC rules, tickling the skins is our own French tickler, Cat Boulanger is here.
Hello.
And our guest tonight at the bar, taking the place of Paul as bartender, as our guest, and as our director of the program. Tige Wright and Stewart Service are here,
Hey
everyone.
guys, yeah. How's it going, everybody?
All right.
Big shoes to fill.
Yes, and there's no, I forgot to talk about the opening, so I'll do it myself.
Have to.
And I am the host of this program, two-time President's Club Award winner, Pete Van Dyke.
Hey.
Thank you, Jane. Jane applauded more for me than anyone else. I really appreciated that.
I think I was supposed to be the one to introduce you as the host of the show.
Is that
Yeah,
Paul?
you were
I
Paul.
didn't go over that, Paul.
But you know what? When you're in this Tige costume, Paul, I don't know how to deal with you. It's the weirdest thing ever. I can't even, I don't know. This is a real pokeroo kind of moment when Tige comes in, because Paul disappears. Paul's like, Tige's here.
It is
He knows all
interesting.
my lines, and I don't need to be here. But then there's some skepticism in the Dutch Hall community that maybe Tige and Paul are the same person, and that Paul's just wearing a Tige suit right now. He's in there. The Tige will just zip behind his ponytail, and Paul will come out of that costume. He's like, "Fuck, it's hot in here. It's hot as a fucking cut in there, man."
There's just so much room in there for more stuff.
Yeah. Hey, I wanted to tell you right off the hop that the only reason I said that cunt word earlier, and I know people don't like it on the show.
And right there.
Which word? Right there again, twice. That's twice I said it. Is because this is an E-rated program, and because of what our listeners did this week, because of our feedback.
Really?
You guys are all fucking sleeping there,
Yeah.
except for Wes. Except for Wes.
Our listeners are filthy mouthed this week with the feedback.
I said, Tige just came from a clean show at New Limburg Brewery. And I said, well, then we'll make the whole show clean. That's all there is to it. And then all of a sudden,
Nope.
one of our listeners comes in, uses clusterfuck. And I'm like, well, if I got to read that feedback. You know what? I give props to everyone on that one except for Charters.
What?
That was late, buddy. It was late, and everyone else had it, and you were like taking a break.
If that was a wife in Ireland in the 40s, it'd get kicked down the stairs.
You hear that, Charters?
I did. I'll try and be more on the ball.
Yeah, you should be. You know what I think about those millennials? I'm just going to go on a
Lori.
fucking tangent. Sorry, Lori. I'm going on a tangent here because this tangent just came to my head.
Oh.
You know what about the millennials that bother me? Are you a millennial, Tige?
Technically, I'm a millennial, yeah.
Okay.
Technically.
Are you a Stewart? Also a millennial.
It's like 85 to 2000 or something.
This is my theory I just had today about the millennials, and it's maybe not even that original. You can tell me. Tell me if it sounds hack. But I think that the millennials, the reason that there's such nitpicky asshole like people about all these like new rules that seem ridiculous.
No offense, guys.
No offense to you guys, but is because they think they got nothing else to fix because we fixed everything already. The baby boomers were terrible. They were terrible, right? We all saw it. We were their kids and stuff.
We're still seeing it.
Yeah, and we're like, we're not going to change those fucking guys.
No.
So we're just like, we're better.
Bunch of
they're-
stuffed shirts.
But they're not listening to us. We got to wait for them to die or whatever because they're not giving us any roles of like importance. And then until they do with Trudeau, and then he just acts like a millennial.
Well, that's the thing.
He's supposed to be a Generation X.
I don't think you guys have fixed things yet because you aren't the old retired shits voting yet. Once you are,
Yeah.
then your generation will be the ones fixing shit.
Yeah, but this is what happens. My generation is also acquiring wealth right now.
Yeah.
And as we acquire wealth, then we start to like want to keep it.
Lean a little bit more to the right.
So we don't care about everyone else because we work so hard for the shit we got. So we don't want to lose it. So we say fuck everybody else.
I think that's every
I just
generation.
need what I get till I die because I'm not going to work that much longer because it's horrible. I just have to stop it. You know what I mean? Charters? Huh?
I know exactly what you mean.
I think that's fair to say about them, like that they don't have much to like. They're trying to tackle big issues. They think they're tackling big issues,
Yeah.
but really they're just clogging up traffic and then telling you not to say faggot anymore.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Because like we already, what I mean by we fixed it was not voting kind of way, but like from just like a tolerance standpoint,
Yeah.
you know, like we were able to say like that stuff our parents were like the homophobia or the misogynistic stuff. We all saw it as being wrong, you know, because it resulted in our parents as a generation, our parents divorced and our, you know, like we're the first children of the divorce because our dad was fucking his secretary because he couldn't get over the idea of a woman at the workplace that he couldn't fuck, you know, because that was like a new thing. Because before that, there was no women in the workplace because they said, how could you have a woman in the workplace? Everybody's going to want to fuck her. And then they're like, this is ridiculous. It would never work. It would ruin productivity to have a girl in there because everybody would be lining up just to bang her.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, they were right if you left it to the men, right? Yeah. And they did for a long time. That was the mistake. You shouldn't have left it to the men.
No.
They're idiots, right? They're just horny bastards. But if you took away anyway, I get on another tangent on that. But what I was saying about the millennials is
millennials, yeah.
And I'm going past millennials. I'm going to my kids' generation, whatever they're fucking called.
Unnamed.
Unnamed.
Aren't they actually generation
TBD.
You guys are generation X.
You're Y.
We're millennials.
Millennials were Y, so
We're
they're Z.
Y.
There's
And then
Zers.
there's
Unnamed.
Zed.
They're the aughts. They're
Zeddies.
they were born with a 0 in their name or their year.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Isn't it good? It's crazy. Like in a year, not quite.
Ish.
At the end, okay. So by the time pot's legal, the day that pot becomes legal, right? A year from then, there will be people able to vote that weren't alive during 9/11.
Yeah.
Man.
Right? Isn't that
You
insane?
just blew my mind.
Bam.
We're old as fuck. It goes so quickly. And then you're
sure
just
does.
old as fuck. And you're like, what happened? When did that happen to me? That was other people. Poor Michael. He can't even take his hat off. It's too shiny for the show.
Yeah, it's tough to look at.
I was thinking about that with my forehead. Should have powdered it or something.
Yeah.
Did you do Tough Mudder or something like that?
Rugged Maniac.
Now this is crazy because Tige, no Tige, you're a big guy now.
Oh yeah, 300 pounds.
You're a big fella, but you weren't always that way.
No.
Were you athletic when you were younger?
Yeah, very.
And but then all of a sudden you just gained like a whole bunch of weight. How did it happen?
I got married,
Yeah.
and then 6 months later, I got a street racing ticket, lost my car, and then I lost my job right after that and got real sad.
Oh, the sadness.
For a while. And then I went to school. I went back to college for software engineering, and then there you're just sitting. So you could be real sad
Yeah.
at college and just eat junk all
Donuts.
the time. And like I went from like I put on like 10 pounds after the wedding, pretty good.
Yeah.
But so I was like 230, 240, and then I went up. I ended up hitting 355 within the year.
Wait, 1 year?
Within a year, yeah, I'd say.
Holy shit.
That joke where I say I've got stretch marks, you could drive a Buick down. I'm not kidding. Like I used to have stretch marks on my biceps because I went from a high school kid to a bricklayer's laborer.
Right.
Yeah.
And then after that, I look like I've given birth to a litter of kids.
Yeah.
That's gross. But I've got lots of hair to make it worse. So that's
I get
good.
stretch marks on my back.
Really?
Yeah, from growing too fast.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Holy shit! You think your skin would keep up?
Yeah, my lower back, I was like, fuck this. I'm going this summer. I'm just going to give it all I got.
Drinking
I
all
did.
the milk, eating all the broccoli.
I don't like milk. I'm not a fucking cow. No offense to your in-laws.
Whoa.
I'll drink
Stewart,
human milk. I would rather drink an old wet nurse out of Peru. That's sitting there in a fucking jungle. And I would go up to her and I would be like, can I have a glass of your old lady titty milk.
I was down
I'm a
before he said
human.
glass. That was disgusting.
A warm glass, curdled Peruvian
Tit milk.
tit milk. Before, because I'm a human, and that milk that's coming out of that human's tit is
What?
more suited for me.
You sound like a vegan.
Why
right now.
Peru?
Yeah, what in the fuck?
Huh?
Why
I'm not
Peru?
a cow.
Why Peru?
Because he likes cocaine.
I always like Peru. I don't know. I've been watching them in the World Cup.
Peruvians.
I was really cheering for him today. I want to beat those dirty French, but they couldn't do it. Eh?
No, not quite.
Could
French
not
is
do it.
strong.
They don't. They look. They look like they're from another time.
Peru?
Yeah, Peru.
Like they're behind.
Yeah, like there's people I don't see very often. Like that's why I'm like I like the World Cup because I get to open my eyes to the rest of the world. Eh?
Yeah.
I think it's a big deal.
You get to see some of the richest people in those countries and still go, wow.
Yeah.
That's what you got, huh?
No, I like that. The people in the crowd are the richest people too. Yeah.
Yeah, the
yeah.
World Cup and the Olympics, it's always like, this is
Yeah.
what the people from that part of the world are like.
Yeah, the really
It's
hot
like-
people from that
Yeah.
part of the world. They're always really hot. The girls are
They
like
just
really.
gather the hot girls. From
There are
their
a lot of
country.
Yeah, because you want to know why? Because hot girls always have money. Because,
They don't need much because they get it given to them.
well, kind of, right? Right?
It's
Like
to the
Jane,
point
Jane
now-
works really hard, but she's hot.
Oh,
She's
that's
hot
different.
enough.
That's different.
But she's hot enough that she didn't have to work that hard. If you just wanted, if you just wanted to be like a whore, like if you just wanted to like sling dick all day
Be
long.
an Instagram. What are the girls called now?
Sling dick all day.
Instagram. There's Instagram models. I was gonna say,
Instagram model. There you
guys
go.
are doing
There
it
you
now
go.
too.
Yeah.
Like there's
That's what
whole
they
like
do.
Patreons as like all they're doing is just getting donations from people.
It's
Guys
crazy
and
shit.
which is hilarious because what happens when they turn like 26
Yeah.
and everybody's like, yeah, now you just look like every other schlub that's been doing
Yeah, but we
Molly and
we get
cocaine
together
for 5
every
years.
Thursday. Count the people in this room that are talented, that work hard, put a song together. We do this thing. People enjoy this program. Nobody fucking gives us nothing. But they will, like, a guy that will, like, work out and then show a six-pack all day fucking day long, they'll, like, keep looking at his pictures. Oh, look, it's him by the pool now.
Yeah.
Oh, look, it's him, like, exercising. It's,
Sun is right.
oh, fuck off. It's such a vacant, like, a vapid existence. Like,
And then they as Instagram models, they get sponsored by people. So then they're just like, hey, I'm in this picture, but I'm wearing Calvin Klein underwear.
You're right.
now. Isn't that crazy?
Or I'm like have this drink.
Yeah.
oh, they're just, like, plugging products.
Right.
Oh, look
I
at me.
get all
with-
my vitamins from Red Bull.
That's got to be for the dumbest part of the population, the absolute sheepiest of the sheep,
Yeah,
right?
but how
working.
many people do you like? That's most of the population. I've been trying to.
What
deny
kind
it
of
for so
percentage is
long,
it?
But I think it's got to be like you look at all the commercials and stuff. That population's got like we've got 60% of the people can probably just go away.
Like, I mean, how many
Because
people?
they're advertising to the lowest. How many times have you seen a commercial and you're like, oh, that was really clever. I liked that, and it wasn't just like because it was funny or whatever. It was like you're like, oh, that's exactly
good
what I
product.
need. They're like, hey, here's the thing that you can put your socks on for, and I didn't know how to put my socks on without that plastic
Yeah.
thing.
I always think, who would fucking buy that shit, on those commercials? And then every once in a while you find a family that's just like,
Right
they buy
in.
all that shit.
Yeah, and then you're online looking at these crazy yachts, and you're like, what does this guy do to have this crazy yacht? And you're like, oh, he's the guy that sold the sock putter on her.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
it's
why you can have
ridiculous.
And so, like, well, do you find that in comedy that if you were to like cheapen what you do to go to the broadest audience,
If you were to do the pop music of comedy,
yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
obviously that
would you would that be a moral conundrum for you?
I mean, at this point, I think I could rationalize it. Like, if somebody was like, hey, look, you're going to have to do, like, just comedy pop, but we're going to pay you to do it, and then you can build up your... That would be... We're early enough now we could do that and be like, well, I need the money and this...
Yeah,
I
yeah.
need to do comedy. But if it was one of those, like, you have to maintain this character in public and you can't go to open mics and do, like, work on other stuff, you have to do this type of thing, that would be hard. But I think we're early enough that we could do it and everybody wouldn't super judge you.
No, but
And then
what
later on, you
I'm
could go back
saying
and do
is
what you
you could be Tige,
dead
you could be
inside, though.
Tige the cable guy,
Yeah.
who ends this show with he smashes a watermelon
Yeah.
with the thing, right?
Yeah.
And he doesn't tell.
I smashed the watermelon with my marionette that I've been using.
Yeah, and then you have a trunk beside you that you take out different things and you show it, and you're like, "Oh, look at this! It's a windshield." And I'm like, "I'm not driving a car, but the windshield's in front of me." And
I think you'd just be a husk. I would. I think so.
What?
Because you wouldn't. I don't think you'd be.
And then
feel
last
like you're
act is
doing anything.
puppets. Last act is puppets.
Yeah.
And they end it with a magic trick. The
yellow.
crowd goes fucking ape shit. Simon Cowell loves you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? You end up, you got written a check for like $1 billion, and then all of a sudden your financial concerns are gone away, but you have to acknowledge the fact that you are a complete sellout piece of shit with no integrity.
Can you stop after like a year and you've made that money and go back and try and earn your way back? Because that would be cool.
Well, you look like a Bob Saget.
Like what Saget did, right?
Yeah.
Family, and then he comes back and everyone's like, "Hey, it's Bob Saget." Oh, Jesus, it's Bob Saget.
Yeah, like once you're done selling out, you got your money, then you do whatever you want.
Yeah.
That's the thing. If you're doing it for a short period of time, it's kind of like what I did with banking, right? Like I used them for like a short period of time so that I could become, so I didn't have to put up with that shit anymore.
Yeah.
If I was smart with my money while they were giving it to me, then I don't have to fucking do that forever. And that was the goal from the beginning.
Right.
Because if you're gonna, you got to have an exit strategy if you're gonna do something you hate.
Well, you look at certain
You
pop
know?
stars and stuff too. I don't know. This is going to sound really weird, but like Justin Timberlake, he kind of did that, right? Like he did all of the super poppy stuff, and now he's doing all the kind of I mean, whether or not you like him, he's doing some cool stuff.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you can tell that it's on his own time. That's kind of neat.
You see a lot of comics that'll do like a sitcom that's just bullshit and it's not funny at all.
I think it's more the corporate end or like the cruise ships and stuff like that that are for comedians. It's like, hey, we're gonna you need to here's a check for, more money than you can do anything with.
Yeah.
But you need to not say these jokes, these jokes, or these jokes, or hey, you're gonna be on a cruise ship and you're gonna whether or not you do you have to do a clean material and no one likes you.
Yeah.
Right? It's that sort of.
They've had a long day and
Yeah.
they don't really want to listen to
I
you.
think
They just want to be in the air
you'd be
conditioning.
heartbroken if you found out like Bill Burr started doing that sort of stuff. Like,
Yeah.
Come on. But if it was like if you found out like Joe Botello, hey, he got a cruise ship gig, you'd be like, yeah,
I'd be
of
like,
course Joe Botello's got a cruise ship gig.
I was like, awesome
Good
for Joe,
him.
man.
Good
Yeah.
for him. Yeah.
That's a good gig, man. That would be fun. I wish someone paid me to do
Robert Beckham's gonna really like watching him.
That's an inside joke that's really funny to me.
Yeah, right? If you saw Robert Beckham on a cruise ship, nobody'd be like, what's he doing here? You're like, that's the
No.
exact kind of guy that goes on
That
a cruise
is,
ship.
I don't know how he fits on a cruise ship. That is true. It's full of Beckhams.
Yeah.
It's just like,
People with a bunch of money that like sit in places that they're close to booze and food. I like that. Not for
Yeah.
a week at a time.
I've done it twice. Once I was on a Disney cruise, and it was fantastic. And then once I was on a cheap-ass cruise, which was full of kids, but because it was cheap, But they had no programs for the kids at all because they were like, it's not for you. They just were, but everyone who had kids and was broke could afford this cruise. So they brought their kids on the cruise, right? But then they had no programs for the kids. They treated them like shit. So I went to like both. Disney Cruise was for the kids, but I liked it. It was for the adults too because they would always say, they know these guys got kids, so like, we'll take your kids. And then they'll have a great time. And then you guys go to the adult playground and whatever.
What's that consist of?
Mostly what you think of, Michael. Dirty, dirty love.
Just a bunch of wieners.
Give me your dirty
Fresh
love.
sheets.
I
Seeing
remember fucking a starfish in Bermuda. The Bahamas. Little asshole.
You go to jail for that.
What?
You can go to jail for that.
Why you can't fuck a starfish,
I don't
Dave?
think so.
God damn it, I thought it was in international waters.
You know that puckered part in the middle of an octopus? There's actually a beak in there. You got to be careful.
Oh.
There's a beak in an octopus's mouth?
Yeah, you got to. Pro tip.
I would
you're
never
making love to-
I would never make love to an octopus because I just think they're ugly.
They can change colors and stuff.
You're so shallow.
I just don't
Seems
do
like a
it
lot
for
of
me,
work.
man.
That's a sick water joke.
It's not like a cuddle.
Still
It's
shallow.
not like those sexy cuttlefish, Fucking a fish is the grossest thing, Because,
You saw A Shape of Water, right?
no, I didn't see it.
Neither did I.
I
just
did not
know
win an
I know.
Oscar.
I know.
I know the
it's-
premise, kind of.
Yeah.
But, yeah. That is weird. They fucked like a sea monster, right? I already told the story. My brother-in-law, I think, wants to fuck a fish pretty bad because I saw him at Disney World and he was like all about Ariel, and he's a real hunter fisherman, you know. And he's like, Ariel, isn't she beautiful? Isn't she beautiful? I'm like,
She's 14.
dude, you want to fuck the fish part, don't you? Not even I don't even think he cares about the girl part. I think he just likes the fact that she's got a great tail. You know?
He likes her before she makes the deal with Ursula.
Yeah.
Damn it, Ursula.
What the fuck is this?
Fucking ruined it. That bitch.
And Ursula is
An octopus.
an octopus. Watch out for the beak, everybody.
And also unattractive. Everyone would say
That's right.
you would not want to fuck Ursula. Correct?
Yeah.
And you could fuck Ursula because it's a cartoon. It's not real. You're not going to go to jail for fucking a cartoon.
Was Ursula the dark-haired one, like on land, or was that just so happened to be a dark-haired girl? On
No,
land?
no.
Did she turn into a woman?
She was hot when she was on land.
Was she
Also,
really?
probably 14, because that's how Disney movies work. If you
That
look
is weird.
If you look into all the stories.
Those eels would just be eyeballing you the whole time, though.
Oh, yeah.
It's so uncomfortable.
Hey, I went on one of these like.
We have a lot of collective Little Mermaid knowledge.
Yeah, this is really weird how much Little Mermaid stuff we know.
Well, under the sea.
Did you know that the poster for the Little Mermaid had a cock in the castle?
Oh, yeah, the original. Yeah, we have it on
Seriously?
VHS with the cock on it.
Yeah, if you look at the VHS cover, you look at the castle in the background, there's a big fucking cock in it.
Absolutely.
A big pink cock. Or hey, you can see the helmet clear as day.
Those animators were hard the entire time. Yeah, let's give her a seashell, bro.
Let's see if we can slip this in.
Okay, quick. We've done this before, but like Disney princess. Which one are you fucking? Serious?
Pocahontas, hands down.
Oh, that's a good one.
Okay,
That's a
well,
solid
let's
choice.
do this like a draft.
All right.
Dave called Pocahontas. None of us can go for Pocahontas
Wow.
now. So now you got the remaining Disney princesses. The quicker you call it, the better princess you're going to
It
get.
has to be a princess?
Any of the
female lead.
female lead in a Disney cartoon movie.
Moana.
Who's the one in Roger
Whoa,
Rabbit?
whoa,
Moana.
That's not Disney.
Moana's the like
That's Disney, right?
the
Moana's
Rock
Disney.
movie.
Yeah.
Moana.
Yeah,
She's
Moana's
like
the Rock movie.
Polynesian girl.
Yeah.
She's a child though.
Yeah.
They're all children.
No, they're not.
Yeah, all of them are children.
It was Bella Child.
None of them are like, this is some good consensual kissing we're doing.
Was the Beast fucking a child? Or he didn't like Belle?
Moana's like a
They waited until they were married.
Yeah, but she was older, wasn't she? She's like done college, I thought. Belle.
No, she was also like, if you look in the story, she's they're all, yeah.
Ty called Moana. There's still a lot of.
I want Elsa.
That one makes me gross.
Ooh,
Is that-
Elsa's nice.
with
Wow.
gloves on.
With gloves on.
I'm gonna get in early and do Snow White.
Ooh, Snow White. She, you know what's the thing about Snow White with me? Her voice. Her voice annoyed the shit out of me,
That's what I'm
man.
going for. Is who's got the voice that I remember the most? Can't
Yeah,
think
but
of it right now.
Snow White could bring the dwarves in.
There's a good one that no one's
Oh,
picked.
Lots of
Tangled.
experience.
There's a good one that I haven't.
Rumple. What's her
heard
name?
yet.
I'm going to take...
Rapunzel?
Who's the
Yeah.
girl in Aladdin?
Yeah, Jasmine.
Jasmine.
That's the one I was
I'm
going
gonna go
to
with
say.
Jasmine.
That's my number 2 for sure.
Jasmine's solid
Like
choice.
carpet up there, eh?
Arabian
Solid
Persian
choice.
girl.
Wearing those like poofy pants.
She
and
was
that.
just begging for it the whole time on that carpet too.
That's
Steve, you're having a hard time with it, eh?
Getting wet.
I wanted
We called Elsa.
Elsa.
Oh, you were Elsa.
Yeah.
Kevin
Wes,
is the
I
one.
haven't
having-
heard
Wes and Kev.
Oh, Wes and Kev.
Jasmine definitely had the best voice. And
So who's left? Who's left undrafted is like Cinderella.
Sleeping Beauty.
There's a black girl from The Princess and the Frog. I don't know her name.
Yeah. What's her name?
But hey, don't rule her out.
How about Mary Poppins? Is she a princess?
No, fuck Mary. No, it's not Disney. It's got to be a cartoon.
Fuck Mary Poppins. Which one do you want to do?
I did love Mary Poppins.
And there's like the girl from Rapunzel or whatever, like the Tangled girl. She's
Oh, yeah.
pretty hot.
What about the Japanese one in?
Moana?
Mulan.
Mulan? Is that
She
Japanese?
Was, she was an
Oh,
adult.
yeah,
she was an
Mulan.
adult. Yeah. Feudal Japan.
That was a good one.
Oh, no, that was feudal China
And you can still bang the mermaid,
with the
and
Huns.
Yeah, Ariel's on this board.
Ariel's on the board. Who are we missing? They've got-
Missing all the
from
animated
Brave.
ones.
Oh, we already said
Who'd you
Sleeping
take,
Beauty.
Pete? You take Belle?
I take Belle.
Yeah, nice choice.
I like smart girls. I've always liked smart girls. She likes to read books.
Animated Belle or like the girl from Harry Potter?
What?
I haven't seen the.
Oh,
live
Hermione?
action
Hermione.
yet.
Yeah.
Hermione, I watched that movie in the theater too, that one too. And I watched Beauty and the Beast twice in the theater
Whoa.
when I was in
2
university
times.
because I loved it so much. That's the truth. I really liked it. It was like, but anyways, so I do like that story a lot. But anyways, because the chick's hot and she's smart, and then she bangs an ugly fucking beast. I got a chance.
So you really have a chance with her.
Yeah, makes sense to me. It's something I can relate to, right? Her dad's crazy.
He's Harry.
From
I'm
fucking
Harry.
Hercules. What's her name?
Oh, yeah.
That's the one.
The Hercules.
Esmeralda.
Yeah, she's
Oh.
like bad, but then good. Yes.
Oh, nice
I like her.
call. Way out of there.
Deep.
Whoa.
He really went into it, eh? He was in a dark
I
place.
think I knew that
tickler.
she was in there.
Tiana was the princess of the
Tiana,
frog.
yes.
Oh yes, Tiana.
Oh yeah.
What's
I liked
that girl
her.
from Hercules.
No.
Princess and the Frog made me
Get up
get
and
choked
dance?
up.
I got that
choked up.
wrong.
Oh.
I'm not-
Esmeralda is Hunchback of
Yeah,
Notre Dame.
that's I'm looking
What's
up.
the name of the girl from Hercules? I can't remember.
She was good. She was like buddies with the devil. With
Hades?
Well, James
Hades,
Wasn't Hades
Yeah, James-
Jay Leno?
Meg.
James Wood
James Wood.
was big dick.
Megara, also known as Meg.
Yeah, it was Meg.
The deuteragonist. That's a stupid word.
Deuteragonist.
Sounds
Deuteragonist.
Did anyone know what time we started the show? At all?
10-ish.
Doesn't
It was
matter.
probably 10:30ish, right? I would imagine.
Sure.
I'm looking at a lot of Disney princesses.
Anyways, is there a lot of them
Oh,
that
yeah.
we're missing?
There's like the official ones. There's ones that aren't technically princesses.
Yeah, see?
Like
I'm
Mary
gonna
Poppins.
fall down a hole here.
They can kind of princess them all up in a way, right?
Bo Peep, huh?
Because Pocahontas wasn't a princess, was she? There's no king of the natives.
Pocahontas.
Does anyone else think the natives
Technically,
when we
the
were
king of the natives would have been the king of Britain,
huh?
right? Because they came over and then they just took all the land.
I got why did they take away the natives' language, but they let the French keep theirs? Kevin,
The French were the ones invading.
Fuck.
because like it's because the English love the French, right? Like the English have a hard on for the French. They can't say no to them. Because even in Louisiana, they still speak French there, and it's like that's in the States where they hate everything.
It's because of the good wine.
It's because the English love the French. They can't. They'll lose. They'll beat them in a war, and
Weren't
then
the French
still.
here first?
So
was like
the
the
natives
Spanish
were
and the
before
Dutch
them,
and
and they
then
made
the
them give up their
French.
language, right? The natives can't speak Ojibwa.
Yeah, but the French also had guns.
Yeah, but we won. The English won. I say we. I wasn't involved with it. But the English won the war, so therefore the French lost. So fuck off. You lost. You don't get to still speak French,
Tell that to everybody with a Confederate flag.
right?
You lost. Get all your shit.
See ya.
Yeah, but like that's how it should work, though. Like the Mexicans were in the States, and the French were in the States, and the Dutch were in New York. You know, and the English beat them, and then they had to fuck off. They didn't get to keep Dutch in New York. they had to quit it, right? But the English, when it comes to the French, they let them do whatever the fuck they want. Ooh, super close. Get at it. And so I think we should start a segment we call feedback. We got feedback.
We got feedback. Feedback. Motherfucking feedback.
Oh, welcome to feedback. We got feedback, everyone. This week's segment is brought to you, as always, by our friends at Amazon. Go to the Live from Dutch Hall website and click on either of our Amazon banners if you're in Canada or the United States.
One or the other.
But if you can't see it, that's because you have an ad blocker on, which is a smart move. But just temporarily shut it off. Click on the banner, do your shopping, and you know what? It's not going to cost you an extra cent at all. It's just going to be your regular old Amazon shopping. But you know what? Michael can bathe himself in funds, which is what he likes to do.
It's delightful.
Yeah.
Not to interrupt feedback so quickly, but if people turn off their ad,
I don't believe that should work when Tige says
yeah,
it.
I don't.
It didn't really
All
work.
power.
He's a guest, even. You think a guy, just some guy off the street can fucking work feedback? You know, the feeling I feel when I say it and I get the whole room to do it, it's a feeling of power, Tige, that I've earned over 4.5 years doing this program. You come in here willy-nilly.
4.5
Last
years
time
doing
the
what?
fucking coach is over there and it's been this long. Oh, all of a sudden I'm going to say feedback and the fucking room explodes?
What I was gonna ask is if they were to turn off their ad blocker
Yeah.
and then click on your Amazon banner and then bookmark it,
Ooh.
Would that work? And then they could turn their ad blocker back on?
I know nothing about technology in
We should
that
check that
fashion.
out. We should
But that's a good idea. Let someone tries it, and whoever tries it will get a free fuck chairs lighter.
Wow.
There you go.
Nice.
That's a deal.
It's out there.
You know what? I got to talk about our other people that sponsor this program, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention Norpac.
The beef people.
And that's all I'm going to say about that. But you know who else I got to mention is the fine folks at Yarmy Electric. They came and finished my basement. I can't say enough good things about these people, but I got to tell you guys, you're so goddamn good. Your problem is not going to go away. People are going to still keep calling you, and I don't know what more I can do. I might want to make up a lie and say you guys were terrible in my house. You took a shit in my middle of my basement floor. Maybe I'll say that about you, just so you don't call my cousin Derek. All my cousin Derek wants to do is plant deep in his wife, make babies, raise them, put out fires in the community for no funds of his own, and smoke cigarettes. No big deal, right?
Yeah.
But instead, he's got to put up with your fucking phone calls about your dangerous hydro situation. Well, he doesn't give a fuck about it. He likes to fuck
It was sign language.
And he likes to help people.
and help people that are his family mostly.
That's right.
Because he's related to everybody. Because everyone in his family also likes to fuck, right?
Yeah, so he has time for nothing else.
Just fucking and working on his family shit.
Yeah.
So Army Electric, if we don't get it right the first time, we'll get it right the second time. And if we don't get it right the second time,
You can go fuck yourself.
brought to you by Clean Flow. And Van Eyck Party Services, I got to tell you, I couldn't find my jacket.
Yeah, no, neither could anyone else apparently.
Yeah, no
I
jackets?
saw zero yellow jackets.
I was a little bit
Jeffrey wore
disappointed.
his in Michigan International Speedway.
Oh, my Jeffrey.
They sent me a picture, Jeffrey, my cousin Jeffrey. But but that's the only one I saw, and I looked all through my house. I don't know where the fucking jackets are.
I'm pissed off about it, to be honest with you. If I had to have paid, I would have wanted a refund.
Yeah. Well, we still did the same showing, Michael, but without the jackets.
I know. Good effort.
I thought the
Great effort,
cousins
actually.
themselves put on a heck of a great time.
You know what I like most about it is like diversity of each cousin.
Yeah, yeah.
They each have something special about them.
You can go like cousin to cousin, and it's going to be different kind of funny every time. you
And
go.
there's like a bit of a gathering around each.
Oh,
like
yeah?
that, and it's different.
Oh, like there are people that like the Paul vibe that he's putting off.
Right.
And then they might want to switch it up, go get a Ben.
Go get a Ben, and then there'll be Ben and Paul. Combination.
And then,
if
hey,
you're lucky.
who are those curly-haired blonde girls over there?
Yeah, they're
They look like
aggressive.
they got something going on.
They're loud. They're aggressive. What are they doing? Selling 50-50.
No
you
big
better
deal.
give them
Hell of
some
a
money.
job, yeah.
or else you
What I
might
liked
get
was
one.
when I drove in. This is just a party for Michael and his beautiful fiance, Sweet Kelly. They're having a celebration to commemorate their upcoming nuptials, right? And we got there right away. My wife just dropped me off, but no, there's parking people that are
that's
there to
right.
attend me. Some of the most professional parking people
Yeah, hired.
that I have ever seen in my life. The Big Dutch,
Yep.
and a guy by the
What
name
up,
of,
Big Dutch?
and a guy by the name of Dougie Dixon. And they were quick to help me out, tell my wife how she could drop me off and get out of there. But you know what else they wanted to show me right away was their sign that they made.
They worked hard at it.
They worked very hard at it. And they knew that some people would be staying overnight, and some people just wanted to park for the party and then get the heck out of there. So they had overnight parking. That one was easy.
Easy peasy.
They're going to call that
Box
one
them in.
overnight parking. It's down this way. You can stay overnight. No one have to drink and drive. It's a great idea.
Yep.
And if you do have a designated driver, you want to stay in the parking that's not overnight. What are we going to call that parking? So they were like, they had to put some time and thought into it.
A couple beers even.
Couple beers. You got to mull this over. What do you call it? And they were like, well, they're just going to be staying a bit, right? Maybe we'll call it stay a bit parking. And they go, that doesn't sound right at all.
Too many words.
Too many words. Stay a
Enough
bit
room on
parking.
the
I
side.
don't think that's what we're trying to do. What if we did short time parking?
Oh.
And they go, I like that, short time parking. And then out of nowhere, I think Dougie came out with
It
it.
just doesn't roll off the tongue right. We're going to have to go with something else.
How about short term parking?
Holy shit.
Wow.
And they were like, that is it.
Nailed it.
And they told me the whole story about it, how they came up with it. Short term parking. They came up with that one.
Oh, yeah. Staple it to a peg, drive it in the ground.
You ever heard that one before, Dave?
with an arrow.
You go to school?
Invented by these two fellas.
Yeah, amazing.
Short-term parking.
Coin the term.
That's the first time I think anyone has ever thought of it. Hey,
I don't know. It was beautiful.
it was a great introduction.
I kept the sign.
Yeah,
I was so impressed with that.
they came up with it. That's the first time it was ever used. I think short-term parking. Anyways, that was a great party, Michael. Beautiful.
was.
And the Nocturnal Emissions kicked ass. Seriously.
Yeah, they killed it. I was very impressed with the boys. First time seeing Dave and Steve perform standing up
Standing up.
Yeah.
with a drummer.
Yeah, with a drummer.
Oh yeah.
It was really something. I thought it sounded awesome, and I from talking to people, they reiterated that. And
Sweet.
you guys
Felt like
nailed
we were
it.
a real rock band up there. It was awesome.
Yeah, how was it, Dave? Because that's a different experience for you. Usually, I've seen you stand up before, but you're by yourself.
Yeah, it was really great. I loved having the band. I loved being able to move around, actually, because usually we're seated. It was nice to move around and dance a little bit to the music while you're
You got
playing.
me in
was.
your way. You didn't have to
Yeah.
worry about that.
Yeah,
That's right.
I noticed you were wearing sunglasses the entire performance.
that was to hide my tears.
Is that true?
Yeah, I get real emotional when I'm playing, especially when I see my family and friends out there in the crowd. Hits me right in the feels.
Wow.
Mike, write down that. Hits me right in the feels.
Right in the fields.
Hits me right in the feels. It's got to be
Sounds
considered.
like a pop song.
We might be able to write a song about that.
It was
one.
a great
think
time,
so.
and I love playing with the Nocturnal Emissions. But what I also loved was when I heard Michael's voice call up the Nocturnal Emissions to play a song with the
Crown the Lion?
headliner, Crown the Lion. Yeah,
Ah, yes, that was a
Awesome.
joyous combination.
that was so fun.
That was fun.
Wes didn't know what to do. He had to split himself in two for that one.
Wes carried double duty in the night.
Double duty, like no one's business.
He just says, "Yeah, I'm in both bands. Not a
That's
big
right.
deal."
Yeah, not a big deal. I'm just gonna sit here and own this shit,
All
and then
night.
go home, probably to rip a piece off.
Yeah,
My old lady,
all
no
he
big
needed
deal.
was a whole bunch of beers and a couple piss breaks. That's all Wes asks.
Yeah, that's on his rider.
It's like, Wes, you got to perform all night. He goes, "Okay, I asked one thing. I'm gonna hopefully get laid, probably get laid, going to get laid, and 2 to 3 piss breaks."
Yeah, piss
I
breaks.
think he got 2 of them. That's fair. Yeah,
Yeah,
I like how he tempers his own expectations in his rider.
yeah.
yeah. I just think 2 to 3 piss breaks. If you deny me the third one, I'm willing to tolerate. Like that's fair, you know. Like I'll hold it till the end, or pee my pants.
He said he was like 30 seconds into the first song and he had to piss when he was up with us.
Oh really?
For the first set.
Oh, really?
Oh, you blew like half of your quota right off the hop.
Did
eh?
you go the whole set no piss?
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Well
yeah,
done.
when Crown the Lion had a 2-page set list,
Yeah.
there was no holding it.
Yeah.
So
Wes just called the fucking card.
You guys fucking played forever. How many songs
yeah.
did you play?
Yeah, we didn't know. We hadn't played in so long. We're
That
like,
was awesome.
22 is about right. And then we got going, and we're like, fuck, this is a lot of songs.
That's
eh?
2
That's
CDs.
great, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
It was.
Plus an
that was-
encore.
I would say it was the only thing I kind of the next day was like, I think I might have been up there for a bit too long.
No, no,
I
yeah,
should
it was
have
perfect.
mingled with some people. But
What'd you close with? Dance in the Dark?
That's always a go-to.
Always gets me dancing.
Yeah, it works for everybody.
I just like to go up there and throw my hands above my head and pretend I'm Courtney Cox.
Yeah, exactly. It's a great go-to.
Yeah, is that too old of a reference? Do you remember Courtney Cox in the Bruce Springsteen video, Dancing in the Dark?
I've seen. I wasn't watching those videos, but I've seen the video. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, oh, yeah, I lived that. And they come up. He brings her up on stage, and they do the Carlton from Fresh Prince dance.
Yeah.
That's a beauty. Anyways, we're in feedback. Every week we ask our listeners, please tell us what you think of our show, because we need to know so we can make it better and we can give you guys what you're looking for. This week, Alice Steppa Jones,
Oh, Alice Steppa.
super fan, shareholder, got donated the Swiss LA chips
Oh, they were delicious.
and a bottle of vodka, which I really enjoyed. Therefore, shareholder Alice Steppa Jones. Dave does not recognize Jones.
Alice Steppa, thank you very much.
Great show, she says. Last week, I had a clusterfuck of unfortunate events
There it is.
happen
Oh,
Wow.
that I really needed a good laugh on a Friday morning. There you go. We are the remedy for clusterfucks.
You're welcome.
Ah.
I love to hear that.
Yes. That makes me happy. And my coworkers and the Joneses even Found it entertaining as I regaled them with your stories.
Oh.
Is that a right word? Is that the right pronunciation?
Regaled?
Regaled?
You went sailing?
So was she galed,
She regaled it.
and then she
We galed.
you galed her,
We galed.
and then she regaled.
She regaled to them. Yep, that's what she should do.
Delicious.
We are the ones that are doing all the galing around here. Everyone knows that. Anyways, I'm happy that your coworkers and the Joneses and everybody knows about Live from the Dutch Hall. I hope they all listen because, you know, I like to know that people are listening because sometimes it doesn't look like they are. And then, so when people say they're doing it, I'm like, oh, that's good.
Hey Pete.
Yeah?
Thank you. I was just gonna say, let's get that piece of paper out of the way.
What does this do this?
Blocking your mug.
Oh, there you go.
Your face there.
Thank you,
For
director.
the
Mike
YouTube.
saw it.
Yeah, nailed it.
All them YouTubes.
That's way better. And you know what? We actually sold a T-shirt from our Facebook page.
Awesome.
Greg Deschamps, Port Rowan.
Kev must know him.
He said he'd like a T-shirt, and we arranged it. We got the money. It worked out. It was like a business transaction.
Whoa.
And it worked out so splendidly that Greg said he got the shirt. Thank you. If you get any blue or red ones, please let me know. Thanks again, Pete. He wants to have like the rainbow collection of Dutch Hall shirts in his closet.
One
Makes
for
sense.
each day.
Sure.
And I'm like, this is something we got to do.
Do you guys have shirts?
Yeah, we got shirts. What size are you? 2XL?
I like to still get XL.
Just regular XL?
Just XL, yeah. And then I just tell myself I'm gonna lose weight.
All right, I'll rip the tag off and tell you it's an XL. No, I'm just kidding. We have in that red container.
I should have. I could have worn them last weekend.
Right?
Right?
Yes.
From now on.
Last weekend, Tige went to a music festival.
We'll talk about that after. You're still.
Oh,
You're still.
yeah.
You're still in the
Spoiler. Yeah, we have one more thing we need to do. Thank you, Greg, for buying the T-shirt. And if anyone else wants a T-shirt or a lighter that says "Fuck Charters," there's limited supply of those left. But you can go to Live from the Dutch Hall's Facebook page and go or our website and go to products, merch, or whatever, and then you can click on there. It'll bring you to that, and you can buy it. Which is basically just sending me a message saying, "Hey, I want a T-shirt," and then
Pretty simple.
I'd say like, "Okay."
Money.
Money.
Yeah.
Transaction. Perfect.
That's how it works. It's awesome. And but there's one lady. She's really our primary sponsor of this program. I'm going to say because she's the only one that gives us stuff that really is worth money.
What a treat last week.
Oh, she spoils us rotten. She's our good friend, the cheese lady.
We're checking on the cheese lady, on the cheese lady, checking on the cheese lady, always on the run. Checking on the cheese lady, on the cheese lady, checking on the cheese lady, she's always having fun. Checking on the cheese lady, on the cheese lady, checking on the cheese lady, she's always on the run. Checking on the cheese lady, on the cheese lady, checking on the cheese lady. Let's hear what she's done.
What are you up to, Teresa?
Teresa from the Second Mouse. Not only is she one of our favorite listeners, she's also one of our most generous. She gave us last week one of the most incredible cheese trays that we've ever experienced in the building.
It was unbelievable.
It was unbelievable.
It was amazing.
A different sort of delicious cheese named after each one of the members of Live from the Dutch Hall. What a thoughtful and generous gift by Teresa from the Second Mouse in Delhi.
Thank
if you
you
want
so
great
much.
cheese,
Thank you, Teresa.
go to Teresa in Delhi
It's the
at
best.
the Second Mouse. And you know what? Teresa's cool. Tell her Dutch Hall sent you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And Teresa might give you a little cheese curd. She'll put it in your back pocket. She'll tell you, don't tell anyone I did this for you, but a little Dutch Hall treat. She's going to put cheese curd in your back pocket and you spank your bum.
Whoa.
Try that on for size.
I don't know if this has been worked out between me and Teresa, but I'm thinking she's going to be cool with it. So we're going to go. Teresa, she listens to every week. She listens on Friday when she's doing her work in the cheese shop. She listens to us on Friday mornings. And last Friday, she said this to us. She said, with regard to the cheese tray, she said, I had a note in the cheese tray for the lovely Miss Jane.
Oh.
2. But it was on the package, and since I sliced the salami, it didn't quite make the cut. Pardon the pun, LOL. Ask Jane, did you get a note from the cheese lady? It says, ask Jane. Did you get a note from the cheese lady that was outside of the cheese tray?
There's no Jane cam.
Yeah, come here. Come closer so that other people can hear it too, because I can't even hear you. You don't get it? You didn't remember a note? We'll have to look it up. She forgets already, Teresa, and she apologizes. That's a real letdown.
Yeah.
Boo. No, I'm sorry. I don't care. And it says, but she also went on to say this. I enjoy you guys bringing some culture to the Shady Shed in Pine Grove. And, you know, if Dutch Hall is nothing more, it's a cultural program teaching people about the different cultures of the world. And the World Cup,
Oh, the football.
Wow.
the football, is a great example of different cultures that I get to observe and give my, like, and we all here in the Dutch Hall can give our perspectives on the different people, different parts of the world that we get to see kicking a soccer ball around.
And how they celebrate it.
And how they celebrate it, yes.
A lot of woos.
And so first week of the World Cup, under our belts, Michael,
Yep.
what's your main takeaways?
My main takeaway is I am terrible at picking the pool. Horrible picks. I said Russia was going to blow it. They're on fire. And I've also found out that even though my love, the Nederland, the Dutch, are out, I found a new love. Viva la Mexico.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
The passion
Mexico's the best.
and the beating of Germany couldn't
Yeah.
make me any happier.
Yes, I love it. I love the fact that they like because those dirty Germans are probably playing some sort of game where they're like it's the first game, so we're gonna play real half-assed because we're saving our energy for the finals.
We're going to worry about our stupid fucking haircuts.
Yeah, wait till Sweden beats you too, Germany, and you're not even in the knockouts. You dirty, dirty Krauts.
Well, see you later.
Yeah, but how do you feel?
I don't forgive the Germans for what they did to my grandpa in WW2, Tige. WW2, you remember that one?
Was that a Raw event or SmackDown?
WW2 Extreme Rules.
Cage match. Sunday.
Yeah. Hitler gets the big intro.
Out for nobody. Switzerland, Germany.
That'd be funny, the big Hitler intro to the arena. Then
He'd have the John
kills-
Cena music for sure.
Yeah, like in Germany, he was like he'd be a big draw. Like people would like he'd be a baby face. But in like
Everywhere
the
else,
States
he's a
when he's
heel.
touring, like he's a heel. Yeah, everyone hates him. And he'd be coming down like saluting and goose stepping and doing all that shit, and the crowd just be throwing popcorn at him.
But there'd be no stains because of the leather.
What leather?
The Hugo Boss, all the leather that they wore in the
Yes.
Nazis. Yeah, man.
It's the SS.
They were in leather?
Yeah, the
Oh.
SS Gestapo's uniforms were designed by
Hugo
Hugo
Boss.
Boss.
In leather?
That's why
Yeah.
they look so good.
Leather. They had like very high-end cotton materials and a lot of
Oh yeah.
velvet.
And a
Sucks 'cause
Volkswagen,
They
right?
look so good.
Yeah. Well, you know, you can say a lot of things about the Germans, but they did take on the world twice, and they made it, as Norm Macdonald says, they made it close.
Yeah,
You know,
I love that line.
you figured that would last like about 5 minutes,
Yeah.
but they actually made it close. That was Norm Macdonald, not me. And but like that is impressive, you know,
Like Marius both says, 0-2 at home.
yeah, I went to at home.
Yeah, but across Europe, they were 0-2 at pretty much everybody else's home.
Yeah, I'm half Hungarian, and we the Hungarian side of me has lost every war we've ever been in. We've never won anything. Hungary used to be like half of Europe. It was like the Austro-Hungarian Empire. It took up like half of Europe. It was like half it was Germany and half it was Austro-Hungarian Empire, and that was like before the First World War, like 100 years ago. It wasn't even that long ago. You know, Poland, Dave, is younger.
I've heard of it.
It's younger than Canada. Did you know that?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, I learned that this year with my kids' history class.
Before that, they were Austro-Hungary.
They're part of Germany.
Oh,
That's why Germany wanted it back, because it was
Yeah.
just their old thing they used to have.
Germans.
And then Hitler said, "I'll just take it back," because they told him you can't fight anymore. After the First World War, they said, "Okay, you Germans aren't allowed to fight anymore, and you can't have an army. You guys are just not to be trusted. You keep trying to take over the world." And the rest of the world says, "No more. You can just be a country, but you can't have an army because you're too untrustworthy, because you keep trying to take everything over. Stop it." I believe they're the Romans, too. The Romans were kicked out of Rome. They went to Germany. They tried to take over the world there, and you're like, fucking quit it. The rest of the world's like, just stop trying to take over the world. And then, the Germans there, they were Hitler was like, I don't like that rule. How we're not allowed to like fight anymore. So I'm just gonna fucking break that rule and just fight him again. And that's what he did.
He just dicked the UN, basically.
Yeah, basically
You can't
everybody.
invade people. Dick.
And then they had to pay the money back, and then it took them till like last year to pay it back. Hey, it's true.
Isn't it insane? Like they did all that plus all of their infrastructure and everything is during all those war times, and they've paid off all of their debts from the wars and shit like that.
Yeah.
It's an amazing country.
That's one thing
Aside
about
from all
Germans;
the
they're
genocide.
efficient.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no joking around about that.
It was a war.
There's no
machine.
joking around in Germany at all. It's
Yeah.
They don't have any sense of humor.
Yeah, that's true.
They're very robotic. They're like robots that just like make things efficiently, right? And tell you honestly about the things they find good and bad about you. It's similar to Dutch, except for it's more evil.
Can you imagine doing stand up over there?
More like it's crazy.
Well, you know, we had
doing
listened
stand up over there.
in Germany.
Yeah.
Ugh.
2 Jews walk into a bar, and that's okay now. Good night. And he just walks up.
I don't know. Germany leaves a bad taste in my mouth. I just can't get over the shit.
Well, you know what they didn't do perfect enough?
What?
Build their football squad.
Oh, full circle.
Can't be a Mexican. Mexico's my team too. I think, Michael. I just love them because of what they did to the Germans, and maybe maybe Sweden will be my favorite team.
Is there anybody else that stands out to you, or
To-
any of you guys?
Oh, to me, that the Mexicans against Germany was the best soccer game I've watched a team play. The first half was offensively awesome, and the second half was defensively awesome.
The guys are crying during the anthem, and then crying also after they beat Germany.
Yeah.
Like that's how passionate they
Even
are.
in the people, is that a different coach from last time?
Yeah, he's different.
Same
keeper though.
Same German coach too.
Oh yeah,
You remember
Iaki
what
Lowe.
last World Cup where he put his fingers down his pants and then smelled his
it.
finger?
Oh, that was him?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the same coach.
The German coach. He's just stinky looking.
Sorry, do you guys follow football or soccer or whatever? Do you guys follow that stuff when it's not the World
No,
Cup?
I don't give a fuck about it.
I do 100%.
He does.
You do?
I
Okay,
think I'm the only person in Canada that does.
I
that.
love World Cup because I love the spectacle of it or whatever. And the very first
It's like
time,
the Olympics.
yeah, but it's better. And then I don't really care about the Olympics so much, but I love the World Cup because I was home on a paternity leave with my kid through this one World Cup, so I got to watch every single game.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, I'm hooked. Like it's so cool.
And that's how I got into it too. I was just younger and had time to pay attention to what the hell was going on, and it just sucked me in.
Oh, it's so cool, and it's a different sport altogether than what they play in the other leagues, like the
it's
championship.
way more. They play to not lose. Where in like their league play, they just fucking just go wide open.
Yeah, it's
Where now it's like depends who you are. Like if you're Mexico versus Germany, yeah, you got to play it. It's tactical, right? You got to play smart.
It's way more strategy in the World Cup than it is in like the regular
The league,
soccer.
yeah, the league.
They're like in regular soccer, it's more entertainment and more like trying to score goals and do like and there's a lot more shitty players, so the good players can expose the shitty players.
Right.
Where in the World Cup, it's like the best of the best, so it's like hard to get past anybody and nobody, and the stakes are so high. Like
And anybody can win.
Dave's got one of his countrymen in Poland that scored an own goal this week.
Probably gonna get shot.
Oh, definitely by pierogies. When he gets back, they'll start firing pierogies at him if they're not too drunk to do that. In
I
Poland.
missed that. He scored on his own net.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Senegal.
Yeah, Poland
Nailed
did.
it. Yeah, Senegal, good team.
Yeah, nice.
You know what's funny is
Stewart's a sports
talking to
boy.
he's
a real
right
sports
on
boy,
it
for sure.
It's funny. Stewart might get it too. Like I find now people like start telling me about soccer. And it's like, oh yeah, you know this and this and this. And like, yeah, I actually watch it all the time, like all year round. So I do understand it. And there's no offense. I love that everybody watches at this time because to me, it's about getting together, having a fucking few beers, and having a good time. Not just like when the Olympics are on.
So it's pretty lonely most of the year for you.
No,
then?
it's not lonely. I enjoy it on my own too.
You
It's
just have
fine.
to go hang out with all of the immigrant people.
Do you guys follow the CONCACAF qualifying?
Yeah.
And like it's
Yeah, it's a tough go for us.
It's painful. And
Yeah.
I love that. My favorite was that they had the North American. North America is going to host it, and that's the first time Canada is going to qualify ever. They just
Yeah.
had to be like given a spot.
Okay, so maybe you know because we had this question last week. So Canada, Mexico, U.S. are in. So what in CONCACAF do they get? Like one more spot,
It's 3.5. So the 3 will make it, and then there's like a playoff.
like a playoff one.
Because they already have the 3, so they don't want to
Right.
overwhelm it with.
So
North
it's going to be
American teams.
almost impossible. Oh, you play off to get in.
Yeah.
So who's in there now with CONCACAF? It would be like Costa Rica, Mexico,
Mexico,
and who's the third team? Or is there just 2?
Good question.
No, it's just I think it's just the 3.
Yeah, who's our third?
Who's the
In
third,
there
though,
right
in
now?
CONCACAF that's in now, though?
Oh shit! Sorry.
Because U.S. isn't in, Canada's not in.
Jamaica's not in.
Yeah.
Mexico,
So who are we missing?
Costa Rica.
You got the list, don't you, Kev, over there?
Oh yeah, I got it.
Someone's got it. There's got to be another one from North America in there. It's got to be a Caribbean country or something.
That's what I'm thinking.
Or, is it? It could be like Nicaragua or
Panama?
Panama.
Panama.
Panama. That's the
Panama.
third one. Panama got it. Yeah, Panama lost 2, right?
Yeah, they're done. I think that was Paul's team. They're
Paul was going for Panama all the way. Dave went for Poland all the way. I think that's his pick that's
Yeah.
not going to work
it's
out.
only one.
I don't
loss.
think so either.
Steve, who'd you go for?
No idea.
You don't even know.
None.
Would you remember if you
whatsoever.
picked Germany?
I was thinking about it. I don't even know if I did or not.
Yeah.
I'll have to listen back.
If you pick if Germany wins, would you take any joy in it at all?
It really doesn't matter to me at all.
And
Honest answer, Steve.
yeah, no, I agree with that. Is it because you're not a soccer fan or because you're not a German fan? Because you're a reluctant German.
I just don't care. I don't. It's not up to me to.
What if Canada won? What if Canada won the World Cup? Would that matter to you?
I guess I'd give myself a pat on the back for doing absolutely nothing to help them win.
I'm going to take that as a no. Is that a no?
I don't even know if Steve would know.
Yeah. If Canada won the World Cup, it probably wouldn't occur to you. You know what I was thinking about? A lot of people do a lot of things. Like people say, like, did you watch this fucking Game of Thrones or something? Or did you watch Lost or
Suits?
Remember the last year's football season or something? And you're like, I don't know any of that shit. I don't do any of it.
Yeah.
And like, what do I do?
Who won the Super Bowl last year?
Like, I don't fucking know. I don't care. Like, I used to know all that shit, and I just don't anymore because I don't think about it. And you know what I do think about? Like mortality, what
The
it's
heat
all
death of the
about.
universe.
Yeah, like why? What am I trying to accomplish? Because I'm half done, or maybe more. You know, like that sort of thing. You're like, it's like I don't give a fuck about what's going on in like the world of sport.
It's not like if your team wins, you get to live an extra year.
No, it doesn't matter at all. But you know, I do love, like, I love watching the World Cup. It's like a way to pamper myself. It's like a way to lie on a couch, listen to the sounds, like the vuvuzelas or whatever.
Or the spoons?
Those spoons fucking tanked, man.
It's nothing.
No one's got spoons in the crowd, and if you do, you can't hear them. So you bombed Russia. Those spoons are garbage.
I'm blown away by the amount of like support the teams have in Russia. Like, I would have thought, well, the crowds aren't going to be that. It's fucking packed and all
Rich
the
people from those countries.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you look
nailed
at
it,
yeah, but honestly, like the next like you look at 8 years, Stewart. If you got 8 years from now, where the World Cup's gonna have some games in Canada, are you gonna try to go?
I'd love to go to a game, yeah, but with Toronto, but I don't know if I'll have the cash for that. That'd be awesome, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're gonna try to go, right?
For sure.
You're gonna look into it, right? And I think there's some people that can't really afford it, but they love soccer that have fucking found a way because they're like, how often in our lifetime is the World Cup gonna be in Russia? When we all get to go, if you're a Russian person, you know.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So I think there are people that spent money they really don't have to go to that World Cup too.
Now.
Like I think the Russian crowds, especially, are going to be like the most authentically like real Russian fans, like of normal people, like you know, middle class, like everyday working folks that are just trying to, they just love soccer or whatever.
Right.
Those guys are going to be the ones that probably put the money out. You know, it's like even around here, the World Cup, if when it comes, it's going to be like a certain demographic.
Oh yeah.
That's going to go like nut apeshit for it. And other people are going to be like, you paid how much for those fucking tickets? And
Yeah, it's like when Elton John and Billy Joel came through, though, right? So those were like 600. this is a bad analogy. It was like $600 tickets, but people were like, "Well, when am I going to get to see Billy Joel and Elton John live?" And they would just pay for it. It's like it's the same thing. It's
I remember being on
stupid.
Ticketmaster. I remember being on Ticketmaster for that show.
Yeah.
And I was looking at the print, you know. I'm like, are they sucking each other's dicks on this show? And I'm like, and nowhere on it did it say that they were going to suck each other's dicks on the show.
Their pianos linked up. Like,
Like docking.
yeah, because you know how pianos are shaped. And then you saw that Elton John didn't know any of Billy Joel's songs, but Billy Joel knew all of Elton John's songs.
Yeah, because Elton John's good.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Billy Joel fucking sucks. Billy Joel can suck my dick. I swear to God. I'm going to say right now, Billy Joel,
If you're listening,
if you're listening to my program, I'm going to tell you, you fucking Long Island drunk. Your poor daughter looks just like you.
Oh, that's
Her
a
mother's
curse. That's a
Christy
curse.
Brinkley. She looks like you. What a fucking terrible, terrible thing to happen to her. Anyways, I hate Billy Joel. You know, he puts in songs that he puts in
really?
sounds in his songs that aren't even like music. It's just like I'll put in screeching tires
And
like
a revving
the
engine.
horn at the end of Allen, like the end of the workday for Allentown or whatever. Like fuck off. Oh, I'll be like a car door slamming. Are you gonna tell a story, Billy Joel?
He's got some hits.
It's fucking garbage, man.
Piano Man.
He does
Come
have.
on.
Yeah,
Man's
Piano Man.
pretty
I
good.
used to like that song until
like
I
the
realized I
extended
fucking
version.
hate Billy Joel, and then I can't take it anymore. Billy Joel, honestly, like he's one of the guys. We have a death pool. I would put him on the death pool if it was like who you want to die. It would be like Billy Joel. Billy Joel can die any day now. I don't care. His music is terrible.
Wow.
I wish that when you died, you didn't have to play their music on the radio anymore.
Yeah, if
The only person I hate more is REM is the worst, and then U2
was gonna
because
say,
they
is
gave me the
U2 in
new
there?
album. They gave ever since they gave
Forced
me that
album.
free album.
Yeah.
Fuck U2, man.
Yeah.
Bono can suck my dick because that
They
guy.
didn't give you the free album. They made you.
They
have
made me
their
have it
album.
on
You
my
have an
thing. I
Apple
tried
product.
everything to get rid of it.
You.
it's still there.
No, I got rid of it.
Can
I
you
got rid of mine.
imagine
Like,
doing that
hide
with
it.
somebody? Like you
Like,
released the Dutch, like live from the Dutch Hall, and now
You have
everybody's
it,
got
yeah.
it on their phone. Like,
They would hate me.
yeah.
You're all of a sudden listening to your playlist, and all of a sudden, hey, like, what is that? Like LMFAO? Oh, yeah, like, everybody shuffle in. And then
Now
that finishes, and then it goes right to like an hour of this.
Now imagine if Pete was wearing sunglasses all the goddamn time, and Steve and Charters just thought that they were like a discount Steve Morello or whatever.
Whoa, I'm lost. I don't know what that
no idea
meant.
what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm not the only one.
Tom Morello, sorry, not Steve Morello. Tom Morello. The Edge is a shitty guitar player that just uses effects all the time, and Morello's good. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
If you would have said Jack White or
Yeah, but Jack White's not as many effects. The Edge.
No.
is
The
just-
Edge versus Jack White or who's the guy from Zeppelin? Then I'm Jimmy Page.
Jimmy Page.
Because they were in that movie, right?
That's right.
Oh,
This
okay.
is
Remember-
live.
See, I was a stretch. I should have just left it.
Where we watched that. Remember, Charles, when we watched that movie?
yeah,
what was it
it's
called?
This is
might
live.
This Might Get Loud. Have you seen it? This Might
No.
Get Loud.
It's awesome.
It's a good movie. You should watch it because The Edge is in it, and Jack White and Jimmy Page, and we would take a piss every time The Edge did anything
Yeah.
because The Edge sucks so bad, right?
Shit.
Like you got Jimmy Page, who's like a rock god. He's so fucking cool. He's rubbing his old dick into the guitar. You know, like he's playing this like
And he always is with his lips like
super slow riff, and he's just fucking grinding his dick into the fucking guitar. An old man,
Oh yeah.
you know.
He's in his study. It's just like wall-to-wall records. He's like,
Yeah,
this
it's-
is my favorite record. He puts it on.
Yeah, he puts this record on, fucking drives his dick into
He's
it.
playing air guitar.
Yeah.
For his favorite record.
Yeah, loves it. And then Jack White, who's like fucking inventive as hell and like
Yeah.
super cool. And he likes to make things hard for himself. Like I'm gonna take a shitty old like Sears Roebuck's guitar and it's never stays in tune. I'm gonna make all my White Stripes albums with it and tour with it, even though it sounds like garbage the whole time. Right? Like that's a thing that. And then you got The Edge, who I'm gonna do this, blong,
Push all these knobs.
and then push all knobs and pedals and shit, and it'll sound like
Yeah.
Elevation or whatever.
Then they showed him doing yoga on his like deck while he's checking his email on his phone. But he's doing yoga.
He sounds like
How did he get
sounds
picked?
like an Apple commercial. Like this guy just.
He's the worst.
Ugh.
He's the worst. That's the worst thing that you can possibly do.
Well, look who they put him up against. He had no chance.
Yeah, like, was Jack White trying to humiliate the Edge? I think that's what he was trying to do. Because seriously, Charles and I, like, every time the Edge would speak, we're like, I gotta get out of the room. This guy fucking sucks, man. Hey, like, it was not like every time he tried to give his philosophies on music or like art or something like that, we're like, we don't care because you suck. We don't care what you say because I'm not listening to it. I'll listen to the other two guys, but not you, Edge, because you stink.
The streets have ears.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what the street's name is. It's like, you suck, Edge. You know, but that's just my opinion. Some people might like you too, or REM or Billy Joel. Those people are wrong.
Just don't ever come to the Dutch Hall.
Yeah. No one can play Billy Joel. No opener will ever be a Billy Joel song on this program. This is a promise. Even after my passing, when it gets taken on to the new host, and he takes it on.
Paul.
Yeah, you think it'll be Paul? The next guy taking over for Johnny Carson will be Paul. Oh, it's like a royal family thing. Wouldn't it go? It would go to actually because I have two daughters. So in the old like misogynistic royal family, I know now women can be queen. They don't have to stand behind their brother or whatever. They can, if they had a girl, it would have been a queen or whatever, head of the boys. That's a new royal family rules. Did you know that, Mike?
Oh, I know that they're.
You don't keep up on the royal family rules?
Well, I know that blacks are allowed in. What's so funny about that?
What, is that a rule they just made?
I don't know.
They have to ask the queen?
If you saw those pictures of the Queen, she's not happy about it either.
No, not happy at all.
Do you think Harry had to go say, hey, Grandma, how about a black? And she goes, as long as it's half black. Is that what do you think it went down?
My boy, she's got quite the tan on her.
Something's not right about her.
But Grandma, I'm a full ginge. We're all right.
Full ginge.
We don't want this to become what do you call it when it's the dominant gene? We don't want this to become the dominant gene. If you get it in a darkie, you're guaranteed not to have a ginger. You never seen a ginger half darkie?
Have you ever seen albino black people?
What? Yeah, I did in Yens in Waterford.
What about
It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. It was the fucking coolest thing I ever saw. The guy's like yellow. His eyes were like yellow.
Guinness Book of World Records.
Mr. Yellow
to
Man.
see it.
I saw it in Waterford picking up Chinese food. I would swear to God. Albino black guy. It's like the rarest thing to see. I was like, I'll remember that.
There's an old black, not a rapper, but a musician called Mr. Yellow Man. He's an albino black guy.
Yeah.
White afro.
It was fucking freaky, man. This guy looked like something like an alien because his hair was all blonde, his eyes are all yellow and stuff, and it's like, what the fuck is this? I'd never seen anything like it before. It was crazy. You know, and you know what else I saw one time? But this was in Port Dover.
This is gonna be sweet.
Drank.
This is Norfolk County. You know, this pissed me off. I was in Hamilton last night. And I'm really like, people are like, where you been? I'm like, I just had to get out. I know the shows are shitty in the summer, and I'm going to still do this shitty open mic show. But I was just like, I just had to get out because I'm lonely. You know, I'm going to talk to people. And they're like, oh, why don't you get to talk to people? I go, because I live in the middle of fucking nowhere. There's no people around me. You know, I can't talk to anyone. And then they're like, yeah, what? Nothing goes on around you. You live in the sticks. Like, nothing ever goes on. I'm like, nothing ever goes on, eh? Like, I was thinking in my head. I didn't say it out loud. But I'm like, you guys can talk about stabbings in the city. You can talk about, like, crime or crazy people or homeless people or something like that. But how many people do you know set a donkey on fire? Okay? How many people do you know? I know a guy that set a donkey on fire.
Me too.
I think most people in this room know this
Is it a
guy.
live donkey?
No, the donkey sadly had passed.
Sadly, I think that's probably better that it was already dead.
Yeah. This guy loved the donkey, by the way. This guy who would hate it if I told the story, I will never divulge his name. Because he really hates when I tell the story. It's my favorite, absolute favorite thing that I've ever heard happen. And he never likes me to tell the story because he hates when I tell it. So I can never let you know who it is.
Love that donkey.
He loved the donkey. What he was on a roof one time doing a job on a roof, and in the property next to him, there was a donkey that was in distress, he felt it was being treated poorly by the owner, right?
Oh.
And so he felt pity for the donkey, and he said to the owner, how much for me to buy your donkey? I'd like to take it off your hands, right? Because he wanted to free it from this horrible environment that it was living in. And the guy sold him the donkey. And so he put it in this like construction van, like a kind of like, like a big van that you'd use for like a roofing van or something like that, you know? With the tools all in the back and the floors open, but people still sit there to get to the job site, even there's no seats. Those kind of vans? Well, they put the donkey in there, and
As you do.
and they would just hold on to the donkey when they were driving, and they're like banging against the both sides of the van with this donkey as they're driving it home. And then this fellow, I gotta be careful not to say his name. Shit. This fellow went to his father-in-law's, said, "Hey, I got a donkey. Hang on to the donkey. I gotta go build a fence at my house so that I can keep this donkey." So they tied it to his tree. While this fellow went home. That was close. And how close was that? Did I give it away?
Pretty close.
Okay. Well, this fellow went home and built a fence, and then he had this donkey, and the donkey would every time him and his kids came home, the donkey would buck and fart, and he would have be so excited to see the kids, and this fellow would put the kids on the donkey, and he would show me how the donkey's got a cross on his back. Every donkey's got a cross on it. Did you know that about a donkey?
No, I did not.
Every donkey's got a cross on his back, and they say that's because it carried Jesus. And that's why if you look on the back, they have a dark patch of fur that makes a cross on their back. Every donkey has it. And that's what the legend is behind it or whatever, right? So anyways, he loved this donkey, brag about it, and show it. Anyways, came wintertime. They built a shelter for him. And lo and behold, the cold days of February came, and this poor donkey, Michael, was his name. Michael, I don't know, I don't want to hurt your feelings.
Good name.
But he's Mike the donkey. He had died. He passed away, frozen to the fence post, solid. So I remember this fellow gave me a call, and he said, "What are you supposed to do? You work in agriculture. What are you supposed to do with a dead donkey?"
Because he was a construction guy.
Yeah, he wasn't in the agriculture world. He was more of a construction guy. And he goes, I said, well, most people call dead stock, and dead stock picks them up. So you should give dead stock a call. So he gives dead stock a call. And this is not a man of means. This is a man of meager means, Doesn't have a lot of money lying around. Can't just throw it around willy-nilly, So he calls him up. He says, hey, livestock, what do you do with a dead donkey, He said, well, if you had a dead donkey, you'd call us, and we'd come pick it up. And he goes, yeah, how much? And the guy said, like $350 or something. And he goes, what are you going to do with it when you bring it back to your place? He goes, well, we'll incinerate it. And he goes, what does that mean, incinerate? And they go, it means, you incinerate it. You burn it, make it into ashes, and then we spread the ashes on a field like the donkey would like to run in. The meadow. So the doggy can feel like his ash. So he goes, you mean you just burn it? And he goes, yeah, okay, click.
I remember this story now.
Right? And so then he has an old barn foundation that just has a bunch of old skids on it and stuff and brush, from cleaning up your place.
That's known as a burn pit.
Yeah, like a burn pit. What he does is he takes a bit of gas, puts it on there, and then takes the old lift truck, scoops up Mike, burns him on the brush pile, and cries his eyes out. I don't know why that makes me laugh so hard. Who fucking burns their own donkey?
It's like Game of Thrones style. We'll burn him and send him ashore.
Viking funeral.
I love that story so much. He gets so mad when I tell it too.
No wonder.
Yeah, good thing he's not here today.
I was just going to say, I'm pretty sure I remember the story, and I'm pretty sure I know who it was.
Yeah. Anyways, he hates when I tell that story. So I'm just telling you, things do happen out near Norfolk County, but we normally do it by ourselves when we're alone and no one can see us doing crazy shit. See, when you live in the city, everyone's going to see you doing crazy shit. Here, we just like drown a raccoon. Nobody knows any different about it.
Foggy day out. All you just see is
I
black
had a
smoke.
friend who couldn't drown a raccoon. He caught a raccoon in a live trap, and he
Yeah.
tried to drown it in a like a garbage can. But
Yeah.
his garbage can got too narrow at the bottom, so he had the cage in. So yeah, the raccoon,
And the raccoon's still
and then
breathing
he's
out the
just
top.
poking at it with a hockey stick, trying to get the thing down. And he's telling us the story, and my wife's like. And I went, you should have just shot it. What are you doing, man? Like,
Yeah.
just shoot the thing.
Worse, yeah.
My dad and I were one time cleaning out this old hay mow. That's a hick word, eh?
Mow.
But it was a hay mow, right? So these guys bought this barn, and it was full of hay in the top. So we had to go like get the hay so they could feed it to their cows or whatever. So they just hired us for a day, and me and my dad cleaned the hay mow out. And as we're like shoveling out this hay, all of a sudden we start noticing there's fucking raccoons in there. Like they're moving around. They're fucking, and then they're like crawling in the ceiling, like the, what do you call it, the rafters or whatever. They're like, it's freaky, man. It's like something out of like a horror movie where the person's neck turns back and they're crawling on the ceiling. Like these things
and
are
adorable. Yeah,
it wasn't a
sounds
great.
terrifying.
I didn't like it. So there's these two old dudes that are working with us. They're brothers, right? They're like farmers as well, like livestock farmers. Well, the one guy corners this one raccoon and just fucking stabs him with his pitchfork, right in his guts. Right? The raccoon starts like screaming like a child. It sounds like a child screaming. Like it really does sound like a human child screaming. And he's pushed it against the wall with his pitchfork, and the thing's screaming at him. And he's telling the guy who bought the barn or whatever, get your gun. And the guy's like, okay. He has to go down the stairs, get into his truck, drive to his farm, get his gun,
You didn't keep
right?
it in the truck?
They get back in the truck, drive down the road, get back up. The whole time, this fucking old farmer's just holding the raccoon going, "Wah! Wah! Wah!" Right?
Man.
You listen to that for like fucking 20 minutes of screaming like that? And then the guy just comes in with his gun, shoots it, and then they throw it off the second deck, and it lands on the cement pad, and the bottom just flop. Done. And I'm like, we finished unloading the hay or whatever, and my dad and I get in the truck. Not a fucking word spoken the whole way home. We're both fucking traumatized. We're like, what the hell did we just go through? I don't know what that was, but it seemed wrong. Like that was wrong,
Those cute
right?
little things make such a terrible, like them rabbits. Rabbits are real bad if you're killing them slow.
The Tige.
That came out wrong.
Every time we have Tige on, last time he was like, I was stabbed 3 times. No fucking big deal. You ever murder a rabbit?
You know when you're 7 and you're skinning rabbits in your backyard because your neighbor's dog's telling you to do it.
Yeah. One thing I noticed, if you skin a rabbit too fast,
And my
you
dog
can't get
caught
the
one.
blood-curdling screams as well. If you skin them slow, really has that.
My dog
child.
caught one. He was tied up in the backyard, and he caught one while he was tied up on his lead. We were in town Kitchener, and we were in a semi.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't realize we're on our deck watching, like, holy shit, he caught it. And yeah, it just sounds like a baby dying
Yeah.
as he's squeezing the life out of it. And then I make him drop it. He brings it to me, puts it down. The rabbit goes to move again because they're fakers, and then he grabs it right in front of the haunches, breaks its back, and it's dead now.
Oh, yeah.
Then we look back at the house, and the neighbors are on their deck with their 7-year-old daughter, and they watch the whole thing. And the dad's like, "You gonna eat it?" I was like, "No, it's a city rabbit. I don't know if that's a thing. Do they get worms? I don't know." And the dog, I was like, I think they were immigrants, so they didn't give a shit. They just came from Romania, so that was
Yeah, fucking eat it, man.
yeah. Well, like otherwise, their 7-year-old daughter is what I was worried about. So
You're not going to eat her.
Give her.
You know, no, I remember when
Make a trade.
I had a buddy of mine, Portuguese guy, and when I was in high school, and his parents were immigrants. Excuse me, Lori. Sorry about that. Real gassy today. I tried eating healthy. It made me too gassy. Anyways, my sister, Lori, what was I talking about? Portuguese. Yes, what it was.
Portuguese people being immigrants.
Yes,
Portuguese,
immigrant Portuguese guy. So he was like because when you're in like grade 10, I was an October kid, so I would have been like my friends would get their licenses. but I had to wait till grade 11 to get my license, right? But if you had a Portuguese friend, they were a year older because when they came to the country, they didn't speak English, so they failed them.
I come from the old country.
When he came from the old country, right? So you always, if you had Portuguese friends, in grade 9, they would drive you places because they were older, right? So, anyways, my buddy had a car, and he decided he was a good friend of mine, Tony, and Tony was going to take me and my brothers and sisters to the rec center in Brantford, or like the Gretzky Center in Brantford for a swim. You know, nice thing in the fall time or whatever. Take my little brother and sister. They're just kids. Paul's like maybe 12. You know, Lisa's maybe 11 or 10, and we're going to go to the Gretzky Center and go for a swim. And as we're driving there, he in his little Renault Alliance, he runs over a rabbit, a big, huge jackrabbit, right? Runs over its head, and he's like, "I can't believe it! It's such a good kill." He's going like he was like really excited. He goes, "I just ran over its head. Like, what is the luck of that? You know, like it was just like he was so happy."
Nailed it.
So in his trunk of his Renault Alliance was all my brothers and sisters' swimming trunks and their bags, swim bags, you know. He pulls over and he's like, "This is the best thing ever." He's going to put the dead rabbit in the trunk.
That's why he was excited. The meat's still good.
Yeah, it's awesome. He's going to be able to get, his parents are going to fucking love it, man. Because it's a clean kill, man. The whole meat's good.
Yeah.
This is the best thing ever. And I'm like, you're not going to put the fucking dead rabbit in the trunk with my little sister. Like, you know, she's a kid, you know. And our swim trunks are in there, and I don't want a dead animal. And it's hot. We're going to the fucking pool. You're gonna put it in the drive. Like, it's gonna be hours in a hot trunk. There, yeah. You know, like, you can't just do that.
Do you have a fridge for this?
He was so mad at me, man. He's like, "Fucking good kill. You make me leave it there." Like, he was so mad. He was so angry with me. Eh? But
righteous kill.
That's weird.
I get it now because I'm so cheap now. If I killed free food, I'd be like, I'd think about it. You know. I
regret not letting my dog at least eat that rabbit. We didn't do anything. We wouldn't have done anything with it.
My cat killed a rabbit.
Yeah.
It was awesome. But when a cat kills something, it's like fucking cool. When a dog kills something, it's like, I don't know if I want to live next to this thing. You know what I mean?
He was a
Charter's dog ate like a whole fucking family of baby rabbits.
A nest of a rabbit nest one time, and
all those dogs are adorable until they be dogs.
Yeah, until they're dogs. Yeah.
Like, oh right.
Oh, it was fucking terrible. Yeah. I went out. I opened my garage door. My dog's sitting there looking at me. And then I'm like, something's fucking weird. This dog doesn't usually sit here. And I look down.
They want to show off.
And there's like a rabbit, a little baby bunny there, and you can see its heart still beating and stuff.
They want you to know that they killed it. That's what that is.
And I'm like, fuck, there was that nest of baby bunnies we've been watching. And then I go out in the backyard, and it's just like fucking massacre. There's baby bunnies everywhere.
You had been watching with the kids like since they were born?
Yeah,
like,
we've been keeping an eye on the nest, right?
That's the best.
Oh my God, my kids are so tormented. I found one little baby bunny that wasn't dead, and I kind of hid it. The other ones weren't even dead. That was the worst part. They were all still alive.
You just maimed them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
so they do. They
like
half kill them, and then they bring them up to you to show off. Like, see what I can do?
Yeah.
And then they'll kill them.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah. That's what like with mine. He got him, brought him over to me. Just let me see it, and then kill him.
And now I will kill it.
Yeah.
I wake up every day almost with a new dead animal at my doorstep.
See, cats, for some reason, it's cute when cats do it because, like, they bring it up to you, and it's when you see a dog. It's like, I remember the first time my wife saw our dog lose his shit at somebody else's dog. Somebody had like a French bulldog or something like that, or I think it was a French bulldog or a Boston Terrier, and it was being a dick to him, and then it got between him and my wife at my buddy's place. We're all sitting around outside or whatever, and it got between him and my wife, and then growled at him, and then I've got a Malamute. He wasn't taking that, and just went at him, and like, it's a cute dog until the jowls come back, and then he goes full Cujo. Yeah. I mean, the French bulldog was doing the same thing. But like, my dog had the bulldog's head in his mouth. Like, we had to kick him kick him in the side of the head to get him. Like, you forget about all that. Cats don't typically do that. When cats fight each other, it's all paws and shit.
Yeah, but when my cat fights, the neighborhood cats, which he's fucked up my one neighbor's cat because I didn't mean to do it. I was just kind of joking around. I was like, "Hey, what's this cat doing here? Like, go fuck him up, you know?" And
it did it?
He did it.
Nice.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. And then the cat kind of fucked off and then started circling back to come back again. I'm like, are you going to take that? He's coming right back at you. And he went and fucking kicked his ass again. And that cat has never been back. That's Mark's cat.
Oh, I was going to say I was over at Sneakers today, and he was lipping off Larry.
Oh, Sneakers and Larry are rivals.
They look a lot alike.
Yes, and they will fight each other. They both, and when they fight, their tails get huge.
Yeah.
Their back
It all
tails.
stands up on it.
It's like it's like really like a squirrel tail or something, like really puffy, you know. And then they get as big as they can, and they make noises that sound like fucking gross. Like you just want them to stop doing it. You know, it's just the worst thing to hear ever. But they'll rip skin off the back and fur. Like he took the fur off Sneakers the one time, and I had to call over to my neighbor and say, I'm sorry. Derry took a strip off of Sneakers this morning. I saw it. But he's a bit of a cock. To be honest, Sneakers is a bit of a cock. Like
He's got a nice little garage over there.
He's got a nice garage. Doesn't have to be in my fucking front flower bed.
Spreading his
I'll
legs.
tell you that. And that's Larry's. If he wants to kick your ass, I don't mind that at all. I'll take a dump right on Greg's driveway. Right? If no, I'm just kidding. But if that's how the cats do it. If they want to mark the territory, you do
Next
that.
thing you know, it's you guys going at each
I was
other.
gonna say, Pete,
Yeah.
quit shitting in my garden.
Yeah,
the paper.
You
me
want
and
yourself
Greg going
about-
back just taking a dump on each other's driveway. Oh, he put this one on my front step. That cock. He thinks I don't know it was him. And then I start putting out videos to tape Greg taking shits on my thing. Because I can't prove it's
One of
him.
those Nest cameras.
That'd be a great rivalry to do. I hope it does happen.
It could in time.
Probably that it
The older and more senile you guys get.
yeah, that's right. We have
Just
time
take
to
shits
fucking
on
lose
each
our
other's
shit.
driveway.
Yeah.
Imagine the cop when one of your wives finally calls them. Can you come over here and settle this shit? All right, well, what's happening?
Yeah, the wives would just be in the back. You know what's going on? Yeah, the boys keep going at each other's doorsteps and shitting on each other's doorsteps. I know, but they're cleaning it up, eh? You don't have to do nothing. No. I wish they would stop. Right?
Embarrassing.
Greg ain't gonna stop. Pete ain't gonna stop.
Going through beats like crazy over here.
Oh, I'm gonna just nice
Leaving-
beat shit
leaving
on
red
his
stains on
doorstep.
his
Oh,
doorstep.
yeah.
Can you imagine?
Nice coil.
A nice shit war with a neighbor is something that it's like something you don't hope for anyone, but if you got to get into it, might as well have fun with it. Nice shit war. Hey, Charters, can you think of a couple neighbors you want to have a shit war with?
Definitely not.
No?
No.
No neighbor you want to go take a shit on his doorstep and just wait to see what he's going to do?
No. I'd be too scared of the repercussions.
Hey, I got to tell you, my neighbors here in Pine Grove, best people I've ever known in my lifetime. I can't ask for better people to live around. I'm telling you the truth. They're great people, all of them. But if somebody wants to share a shit war with me, I'm going to fucking finish it. I'll tell you that.
Can you shit that quick?
No, but I'm not, it doesn't have to be fast. It's not about speed. It's about mass.
Yeah, but like
I'm putting a mass on this fucking, a diabolical mass that I'm going to make up. My diet is going to be ridiculous.
you know if somebody's on your stoop though. Like
No, I don't.
cat- you do? You don't?
No,
No?
if someone's on my front doorstep,
You have no
I have
idea?
no fucking idea. I don't even use my front door.
Really?
You
Yeah.
wouldn't want to do the front doorstep anyway. You'd want to put it somewhere where they find it unexpectedly.
Or
you
it's
know,
hot.
like like
Oh.
like in the barbecue or something like that.
Sump hole in the basement. Sump hole in the basement around here because we
that's
have dry,
gross.
high and dry lots.
Yeah.
So you have to have a sump
just
hole because it's
cruel.
code, but there's never any water in there. So it's a useless hole in your basement that's just capped.
Till you
It's
go in
empty
there.
and dry. You take a dry shit in that fucking thing, you're going to be looking around your house forever trying to find that thing.
Next
I'm just
Christmas
telling
party,
you,
Pine Grove, check
any
your
of you
sump
Pine
holes.
Grovians, you want to start this thing? I'm going to finish it. I like how I'm having a fight with people that have no problem with me.
You're trying to.
Anyway,
incite
sorry,
a
we have to end this show.
Oh, man.
Ty, get anything you want to plug?
No.
No, yeah, it's sad. It's summertime. It's
I have
fucking
a ton
comedy
of shows,
sucks
but they're
in this.
nowhere close. Like, I've got shows all over the
Yeah,
place.
people
but
listen to the show everywhere.
Yeah. All right. Well, I say I have. I'm doing a show in Breslau on July 6th.
Breslau's a made-up place.
Breslau, by
Everyone
the
knows Breslau.
By the airport?
Drink.
Right by the airport?
Yeah, I think I'm doing
Down
it
from
like,
the satellite
on
restaurant?
Yeah, thank you. The only person
welcome.
here that recognizes Breslau. Yeah. I'm in the part
Where's
of Kitchener that
Breslau?
didn't want to be
Serious.
called Cambridge, basically.
Down the road. It's in the Tri-Cities area.
So that's the 6th, and then the 7th I'm in Peterborough with Jeff Leeson, both of those shows. Yeah.
Can you tell Jeff Leeson
Actually, no,
Can you tell Jeff Leeson something when you're with him?
Yeah. What do you want me to tell him?
When we were at the music festival, me and Charters, I don't know what happened.
Oh boy!
But the
a nice day drunk. That's what happened.
Yeah, we got a nice day drunk, and I don't know how it came up, but I think when I mentioned Jeff's show, and then these girls who met us and started like texting him. And saying that his show's inferior to our show and stuff like that.
Jeff, like what show? Like
it was an old thing on the internet with the Jeff Leeson show that was going to be Canada's late night talk show, and then so those girls were like, "Give up your dreams," like Pete's already got it, and then he's like, "I haven't done that in a long time, and I wish the best for you and your friends," he was like,
being so nice.
He was being super nice, yeah. And then I was like, and I didn't remember any of it, and then girls didn't remember any of it. And the next day, she was like, "I sent a message to some dude like named this. Does this make sense to you?" And I'm like, fuck. Why would you do that? I don't know the dude that well. Like I've met him a few times, when I was starting out in comedy. I don't know him at all. Like. So I'm like, I apologize. Just tell him I apologize.
No, I'm not saying
shit.
I'm going to say that you're so Pete fucking hates you. I don't know did you get those messages from those chicks?
Yeah. Those girls, I'm sure they would have done it unprovoked. But I don't know. Maybe got to bury my ass about Jeff. But yeah, see how it works out.
Yeah, so that's I'll let him know. But yeah, Breslau the 6th, Peterborough the 7th, Oshawa the 20th, and Bradford for a doubleheader on the 21st. We'll go with those.
Oh, I love Bradford.
Yeah. Doing the Sin Bin.
Yes?
Yeah, Sin Bin comedy up there.
Oh, they're
Greg
very good.
Enright's show.
Very good. Well, it's Tige. I like thank you very much for coming in. I appreciate you always.
Thank you for having me.
You're a great listener and a great supporter of our show. And Stewart, you pop your cherry on the program. I hope you enjoyed yourself.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming in. Thank you to everyone who's listening. Please tell a friend, share our episode, tell someone to subscribe to our programs on either YouTube or Podbean or iTunes or wherever you can find us. And until next week, we will see you NT. See you next Thursday. Hey, everybody, we did it.